guys, PrinceofMacedon here. Gonna do a replay commentary video for Rome Total War. This would be a Greek city-state versus Numidia battle. I'll be commanding the Greek city-states. And my opponent's name is RV0, commanding the Numidians. So I knew that when my opponent picked Numidia that he was gonna have a ton of archers, slingers, what have you, and some pretty decent cavalry. I, on the other hand, I'm using the Greek city-states who have pretty deficient cavalry. So I hid all my cavalry here so I can get the drop on my opponent. At least that was my hope. So right now my cavalry is actually hidden in this what's considered to be tall grass, so he can't see my guys right now. So we're going to begin the skirmish phase. He's going to put his peasants up first so he can get a drop on the skirmish advantage. I decided just to target his archers immediately. I got a few shots off on his peasants by accident. That was a mistake. Anyhow, he's getting his guys around me. I tried to use my hoplites to ward him off. He got behind my guys right here, and he got into my skirmish line. So at this point, I decided to take out my cavalry. I couldn't really keep them hidden anymore. I couldn't afford it. So he's getting all kinds of sweet shots on my archers. Unfortunately, I should have put my spears down at least. That would have kind of distracted him. Anyhow, his long shields have gold upgrades, I believe. My Greek have very minimal upgrades. So I was very hesitant about engaging my opponent like this. But I will have hoplites helping out. He's getting all of his guys over here to assist in wiping out my hitting Greek cav. But I got some hoplites chasing in. And here's what's happening over here. So he takes out my Greek cav over there. And he got a pretty good swipe on my archer line. And I'm trying to stay more alert now. Sometimes I underestimate my opponents, and I was determined not to let that happen again in this fight. So, I've got a unit of armored hoplites right here. That was bogging his men down. So as he tries to run off to meet my cavalry, some of those guys will get impaled by my spears. And now he's going to lose his Numidian cav. Even though his cavalry is so much better than mine, I had the assistance of my armored hoplites. And I got the drop on most of his cavalry. So he got a pretty good charge on my Greek cav there, but I got my armored hoplites nearby to assist again. And elsewhere, he's still getting some pretty good swipes on my archer line, unfortunately. But I'm using my archers to target his cavalry as they're routing so that they don't come back. So it's not a very safe place to be behind my Greek lines, but I have all my archers firing back here. I'm not really concerned about his archers and slingers at this point. I'm more concerned about his superior cavalry. So I knew if I got rid of his cavalry, I'd have a much easier time. And here I managed to bog his cavalry down. That's his general, by the way. And his general gets taken off the field. And I wanted to make sure they left the battlefield. So I guess killing them was one way. But I was going to chase him to the ends of the map if I needed to. I probably should have chased him, but I was afraid these long shields would come back and take my cav out. Yeah, so these were his previous long shields that were routing earlier, but they came back from routing. I knew that was going to happen because I didn't kill too many of his cav units, so I knew they would come back eventually. So he pulled back. We managed to sneak back a unit of long shields retired. I kept 3 archers back here, ready to attack his long shields if they got closer. Because I knew these 3 squads of archers could easily take out, 15 horsemen who are tired. So I'm going to keep those guys back a little bit. And I'm going to use my cav to knock out his remaining cav. And also push forward with my rest of my armored hoplites and take out his archers and slingers wherever possible. Look at some of his peasants came back. So I got pretty careless at the beginning. So I tried not to replicate that again. And here, I just stuffed my armored hoplites into his legionnaire line. Now, none of my units have gold upgrades. I wanted to buy more troops, so I cut back on the amount of upgrades, and I sacrificed attack upgrades. But I knew armored hoplites were pretty strong already, so I just put money into their defense so that they would last longer. And look at all around here, my armored hoplites are actually chasing down his archers and routing them. Even his Numidian legionnaires are getting routed. And whenever I take out his archers, I get really happy, because I know chasing down archers is a real pain in the neck. But my main concern is his cavalry back here, and also taking out his legionaries, and then I could worry about his other guys later on. So as I said, I left 3 archers back here to get rid of these long shields, and I knew they were tired already, so I knew they wouldn't last too long. So my 3 archers were very successful over there. And elsewhere, I'm about to beat the crap out of his proper melee units. He still has this unit of long shields right here. And I can put my guys into phalanx here. A little too late, unfortunately. He's gonna go right for my archer line. I'm not sure if he was watching at that point. Otherwise, I don't think he would have went straight through my hoplites. That was a huge risk. So I made a little mistake there. Had I went into phalanx mode, he would have impaled himself a little bit. So, he has all of these units left. These guys can all run pretty well. And I'm still all foot base at this point. I lost all my cavalry. He has this unit of slingers behind me, and I left these Cretans back here to deal with them as they get closer. I will turn them around soon. There you go. On cue. Unfortunately, I think these slingers overcome my Cretans. I forgot. But the important thing is I'm chasing down his archers now, and also taking out his legionaries whenever I can. But I knew that if I take out his legionaries, I'll have a much easier time against his skirmish force. So I'm going to surround these guys wherever possible to make their death quicker. So these legionaries are gold. But I knew my hoplites could, they would do the trick even though they weren't gold. Even my Greek cav, I only had them at, what, silver defense? And he had those gold long shields. I knew that my guys could hold out long enough for the rest of my team to get over there and put the hurt on his superior quality units. His superior quality cavalry, that is. My infantry is definitely better than his. But the important part in this fight was the cavalry fight, and all I had to do was nullify his cavalry, and when I accomplished that, then I could deal with the rest of his troops. But yeah, it's still a struggle though, because his guys are still pretty fast, and they're lightly armored, so my hoplites are gonna have a hard time chasing these guys. But I was determined to just keep chasing them. Now these guys are targeting my hoplites, and while they're doing that, I'm targeting him with my archers back here. See that? And I killed another unit of legionaries there. I think it's one more legionary unit. They're at 28. See this? These guys? These are your imitation legionaries. Actually, no. These are, I believe, yeah, these are Roman deserters who started to fight for Jugurtha during the Jugurthan Wars. I know I mispronounced it, but whatever. So yeah, the goal here was just to keep chasing. That's all I can do. I have no more cavalry. Just gotta chase them down, hope they break from the loss of morale, and just touching them is pretty much enough to break these archers and slingers. Not to mention the fact that they have no more general. The general died pretty early on in the fight. All right, he still has this unit of legionaries right here. See, look, these guys didn't even touch them, and they broke. Oh, sorry, my archers are shooting it, never mind. But sometimes it happens, though. If you get even close to them, they'll break just from being so close to an enemy unit, and their morale's already low. That happens. So yeah, it's kind of a mess of a fight. But believe me, I was pretty organized during this fight. Like, I was selecting priority targets. I wish I recorded this live, because you can see what I was doing. But I've got these. This is his main body of skirmishers right here, and I basically just corralled them into the back of the map here, where they had less room to maneuver. So whenever you're fighting this kind of opponent who's more fluid like this, then yeah, you have to be looking all over the battlefield, and you have to prioritize your targets. Because like over here, when I have a unit of armor hoplites, they're kind of alone, except for this one unit of archers who aren't really doing that much, but there's only, what, 15 of them? They're still shooting, causing maybe minimal damage to these guys, but not much. So this unit's pretty much isolated. But as long as I kept the bulk of my troops together, I would have a very solid chance of winning this fight. See, all these armored hoplites here are pretty much together. So at will, I can piece them back together, and then I would have a solid army again. So do you see how these archers are running out of space to run? Now he could direct, or what do you call it, disable skirmish mode and let them run straight that way. But I think at this point he still had them enabled on skirmish, so they weren't taking the most optimal route of running away. See that? And whenever you see that, you can just keep chasing them, and they will not be able to run away for too much longer. They can. But, like, back over here, see, I did detach this unit of armored hoplites. But I was thinking, hey, maybe there's really no need to save this unit of armored hoplites. They're pretty much dead already. So I didn't really care at that point. So once these guys broke, I was like, uh-oh, I can just cut my losses now. So there's really no need for these guys to get over there to rush headlong into a fight that they probably can't win. So I'm gonna have the rest of my troops heading up as soon as they take care of this problem over here. I think at this point he did at this point he did disable skirmish mode. That's why that's how he was able to escape out of that noose I hung over him. Even over here he managed to sneak those troops around. But unfortunately they're exhausted at this point, or very tired. And my troops are pretty exhausted, but they're still chasing them, so they're gonna break eventually. So he routed my archers over there who are at 15 earlier. These guys are broken. Now I've got this unit of Cretans here. They are fresh actually. And they're at 30. I see this unit coming at me. This unit has 56, but they're exhausted. See how they're exhausted? Not to mention they're slingers. And my Cretans are pretty decent in a melee fight. I knew that much. So what I was going to do, I was going to charge into these slingers as they got closer. To see how far they are from these guys. So I think what his aim was, I think he wanted to knock out my Cretans before the rest of my army got over there. That'd be less to worry about. That's why he's rushing at me like this. So I guess he had no choice. So I'm just going to countercharge. But look at my guys. My guys are fresh and they're Cretans. So to see how long they last against my Cretans here. Oh, he still had slingers actually. Oh, he still had rocks. But he switched the melee round as soon as my guys got closer. I've lost what, half of my Cretans looks like. He hasn't lost too many of his slingers, so maybe I was wrong. But they do break though.
Is ours,
no, they didn't break. He admitted defeat at that point. So very, very good game to my opponent. So you see that close victory. Now I had a bigger army. He managed to kill more of my guys. Although my hoplite force was pretty much untouched. So a lot of his kills were against my archers and my Greek cav. But he also killed some of my armored hoplites. But the fact is, I kept most of my hoplites pretty healthy. See, I got one here, one here, one here, one here. Actually, two over there. One's pretty depleted, though. So, he's created some of my phalanx force. But if I got my phalanx together, then... I mean, that's pretty much why he admitted defeat at that point. But he fought a really good fight against me. And I will see you guys later. Hope you enjoyed this battle. Good game to RV0. With a 0 at the end of his 0. You can look at that. Let's see who got the most kills on my army. My Cretan archers did. I'm proud of them. Alright, bye.